Oh, there we go. It is time for headlines on the Weekend Journal on News Talk 580 WTCM. I'm Jack O'Malley. All right. Are you ready? Let's see what's going on here. This is, you've probably seen it already in the news and whatnot. But the other day, House Speaker Matt Hall and Governor Gretchen Whitmer went to Washington, and they were there to talk to the president, right? And talk to him about Asian carp, talk to him about Selfridge Air Force Base, talk to him about all sorts of things Michigan, right? And somewhere along the line, the Prez had a press conference kind of thing, and he was going to sign another executive order or two or three. And they brought Whitmer and Hall into the Oval Office. They were kind of off to the side, but they were in the Oval Office to watch this. Now, a couple of thoughts here. People were upset because Trump referred to her as a nice woman, doing a great job, something like that. So the Republicans are like, what? How can you do this? She's a terrible person. And then the governor was in there, and the Democrats were like, how can you do this? He's a terrible person. How could you be in there? You're supporting him. Well, the governor has said, well, wait a minute here. I'm there to talk to the president about Michigan. And if he tells me, come on in here, that's where you go. So the governor is 100% right. And to those who, just are all upset with the Prez because he was talking to Whitmer, that woman from Michigan, this is a classic example of what I am trying to talk about: civil discourse. Here's the thing that people don't understand. I'm a baseball fan, all right? I can't stand the New York Yankees, right? They're the terrible team. I'm not a big Cubs fan, so I don't want to see good things happen to them. That's sports. That's one thing. It's silliness. But when we're talking about politics, you've got to understand that as an elected official, you need to stay level-headed most of the time, right? And something happens. That woman from Michigan. You don't forget those things, but you have to move forward. And that's the part of politics that I think the average citizen and some real policy wonks, they just don't, party wonks, don't want to understand. You got to move on. And it is what it is. And that's where people want you to keep throwing daggers. Well, somewhere along the line in politics, you have to say, I got to move on. We're here now. We remember what happened back then. I still might not like you, but I got to work with you. So I thought yesterday or the other day in the White House, whatnot with the Gov and the Prez, there's a great example of civil discourse. I don't really like you, but I got to work with you, right? And that's okay. That's how the game's played. All right, MDOT, fix those danged old roads. MDOT says it needs $2.5 billion extra to fix 90% of the roads to get them up to good. Now, a couple of thoughts here. Senator Erica Geis, who's the chairman of the Senate Transportation Committee, Democrat. I agree with her. Jack, you're agreeing with a Democrat. Of course I am. Here's what she said. She said the roads being discussed, the money you're talking about state roads. You're not really talking about this money going to the local roads because 92% of the roads in the state of Michigan are local. And that's basically true. The money they're talking about, $2.5 billion, would go only to state roads, not the local roads. We need local roads fixed. Point being is this. I would say and argue, all right, you want to get our state roads up to 90% good. I get it. But maybe you can't do that in 2 years. Maybe it's going to take 4, because let's be okay with 70% good for right now, because we need to use some of that money on our local roads too. So this is the debate. The other thing you're going to start hearing squawking about, because it's been around forever, is Act 51. The Citizens Research Council says, got to get rid of Act 51. It's archaic. It's a way to spend money, how we divvy up money for roads. I would argue that Act 51 is fine. They call it Act 51 because it was Public Act 51 of 1951. It's been around forever. It has been amended many times, so it's not 1951 verbiage. It has been changed. What Act 51 does is it says, here is how we distribute money. I forget the exact percentages, but state roads get X amount, county roads get X amount, and then village and city get X amount. And that's how it all filters out. And bike paths and things like that get it. As I've heard many people that are involved in the road situation, Act 51 is not really the problem. It is a way to distribute the money. You put more money into Act 51, more money gets spread around. The biggest problem with Act 51 that big cities don't like, but rural communities have to defend, is all this is figured out by road miles. How long is a road? Big cities want to go with lane miles. So a county road is 1 mile long, okay? But a big city, if you go with lane miles, if it's 4 lanes, now it's 4 miles long. And so they want to see that money divvied up by lane miles, not road miles. Issue there is, I use this story all the time, just so you know that our road money is pretty much divvied up right. Oh, I don't know how many years ago now, I'm talking to the Oakland County road guy, and I say, how much is your budget every year? And my numbers, I'm going off memory a little bit here, so I'm off maybe by a few mil. He says, I don't know, we're probably at 140 mil. I'm like, okay. And I went to Manistee County Road Commission, and I said to them, because they were in my district, I said, what's your road budget every year? And he said, well, last year, we got a little extra because we were redoing such and such road. $3 million. 140 mil for Oakland County, $3 million for Manistee County. I don't think anybody's going to say the big counties are getting ripped off. The other thing that you need to understand is Michigan is not a donor state. We get the same amount of money we pay out in taxes to the feds, we get back, if not a little bit more. So there you go. Let's see here. The Board of Education has started a replacement for the superintendent. Michael Rice is retiring. I'm okay with that. I was never a fan of Michael Rice. I'm sure he's a nice human being. But I thought even during COVID, he was not much of a leader. Again, this is a time to say, how do we do this? We need to change. We don't need our state school board is a bunch of people. Nobody knows who they are. They are, nobody has any. They don't have any. What's the word I'm looking for? I just went blank. Anyway. And the state superintendent answers to accountability. There's no accountability to our state board of education, and the superintendent reports to a bunch of people that have no accountability to anybody. So we need to rethink that whole process too. And they also want more money for HVAC and whatnot. There's a report saying that our schools are in dire need for HVAC repair. I asked the question that Representative Boland did a few weeks ago. Not saying that it was the silver bullet, but what happened to all the money during COVID that we allocated through the ARPA money and whatnot to fix schools' ventilation and HVAC? Because that was a problem during COVID. Where'd that money go? We should have just a whole show on schools. Let's see what else is going. By the way, this is the Weekend Journal on News Talk 580. I'm Jack O'Malley. This is one out of the Detroit Free Press. A good article here. Matt Hall, speaker, and the mayor of Detroit, Mike Dugan, and his police folks down there have a bill that's set up to put money into a fund. And this funding bill would... and Hall says they're going to make it a priority when they get back next week after spring break. It is dedicating a portion of Michigan's sales tax revenue to a new public safety and violence prevention fund. Basically what happens is you're going to get money if you're a violent city, but if your violent rates don't come down, you don't get any more money. So, and it's very targeted. It really makes a lot of sense. The funny part of this is that the state legislature last year made this law, but under the Democratic dumpster fire that was there, they never allocated any funds to it. So they are now. So that's good news. Let's see here. Story here. The governor was in Washington talking about our manufacturing situation. And she wants to see more manufacturing and that sort of thing. Well, there was an article in the Detroit News about how Michigan is one of 3 states that have lost the most manufacturing jobs since January 1st, 2019, the day the governor took over. I'm not going to go into the whole article here, but it is kind of interesting how we are not keeping up with where we were. And since the governor took over and the last term when it was a trifecta, and we did away with many of the Governor Snyder era pro-business, pro-job initiatives, we've lost ground. So something to think about here as we move forward, and we look to hire a new governor here in a couple of years. This is one that I have to laugh at. A couple of lawmakers, Dems in Lansing, are bringing back some bills that would allow local communities to ban plastic shopping bags. And they were similar bills introduced last session that didn't go anywhere, which pretty much says to me, these are bills that are being introduced by these two reps because it gives them environmental cred, saying, yeah, we tried to get rid of the plastic bags, but it didn't even move in a Democratic-controlled legislature. These are bills nobody wants, other than, the Green Movement and individuals who think it's terrible. You can recycle those, and many stores have drop-offs where you can recycle your plastic bags. But the other issue is, all right, if you allow the locals to have their own, patchwork quilt of regulations, it would make it very hard for statewide retailers to know where they can do it and where they can't. So if you see any news on that, I see it as just a couple of lawmakers trying to get street cred with the greenies. My 2 cents. Here's an area where the greenies should be upset about. Michigan takes more garbage from Canada than anybody else. 5.43% increase in trash, more than 24 million tons. Michigan accepts trash from Ohio, Wisconsin, Indiana, Massachusetts, other states, California, Delaware, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Montana, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. Why are we accepting trash from other states? Don't they have their own landfills? So if I'm a Greeniac, and I guess I am because I live here and I want the world to be a safe, clean place, why are we accepting trash in our earthen areas, near our water tables? Why do we allow them from other states? I don't get it. I already told you that Rice is retiring. Don't need to redo that. Let's see here. This I thought was interesting. Traffic deaths fell 4.3% last year in Michigan. That's good news. A slightly bigger drop than the national average, according to data released by the National Highway Traffic Association. Deaths nationally were down 3.4%. Despite a 1% increase in vehicle miles, but remained significantly above pre-pandemic levels. More than 39,000 people were killed in crashes last year nationwide. An estimated 1,047 died in Michigan, but that number is down. So that is a good sign. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, so be careful. Buckle up. Our buckle up rate is I think it's 93%. So there's 7% of the population still will not wear a seatbelt. Go for it, man. I always wear my seatbelt. I feel naked if I don't. Let's see here. A new program from the Department of Health and Human Services would help repay student loans for some people heading through a licensed practical nurse or registered nurse program. We need more nurses, so anything we can do to help with that, that would be very, very helpful. Let's see here. What else have we got? What's this? Last note here. Attorney General Dana Nessel joined a coalition of 19 attorney generals in filing a lawsuit against Trump and others over his voting restrictions executive order. Basically, what we talked about last week with Rep. Brian Posthumous about saying you have to be a U.S. citizen and prove it to be able to vote in federal elections, and the potential ballot proposal, in case you missed the interview, would require that same here in Michigan. Let's see here. Yeah, Detroit's going to get another area code. You might have seen that. I thought that was kind of interesting. 313 is getting outdated, used up. So the new area code will be 679. That's not a happy, good number. 679 will be the new area code. It won't take effect for about a year till all the 313 numbers are used up. I do want to take this moment to promote next week. I think next week is going to be a very interesting show. I'm going to have a couple of folks in. Something that perplexes me, I don't quite understand it, but mental health in the state of Michigan. Where are we at with that? Where are our communities? What's happening with our community mental health folks, are statewide? It's been an interesting trajectory since we did away with state hospitals, what was it, 40, 45 years ago now. I think that was a foolish thing that we did, but that's something we can chat with the folks next week about here on the Weekend Journal. So there you go. That's coming up next week. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the show. If you've got a thought, comment, whatever, you can email me. Jack at WTCMradio.com will work. Would love to hear from you and find out what your thoughts are, or if there's a topic you'd like me to discuss, or you have a comment, tell me I'm full of it, or that you agree with me. I'd appreciate it. But we come to you every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. right here on News Talk 580 WTCM. And if I do everything right, we post the video from the show every Monday and Tuesday on the Facebook page, which you can look at. Facebook, it's Jack O'Malley Weekend Journal. So it's pretty easy to find if you look for it. All right. We'd love to have you like and follow along there as well. All right. We call it the Weekend Journal. Why? Simple. It's on the weekend. Scientific research told us that. All right, we're going to be back, going to chat with a gentleman from a local organization that has really made a difference. It's called Grow Benzie. Josh Stoltz is going to be in the house coming up. The Weekend Journal brought to us by Rectangles, your rug store in Traverse City. Be right back on WTCM.